Did you know that compasses fail to point true north in the Bermuda Triangle? One of the only two places on Earth where this phenomenon occurs? Gear up for a thrilling venture into the enigma that surrounds this region. Located in the western part of the North Atlantic Ocean, the Bermuda Triangle has been a subject of intrigue and trepidation for many. Here our dependable compass, the beacon of navigation, acts weirdly, challenging our perception of reality. Join us as we unravel the spine-chilling mysteries that envelop this mystifying region. Our journey into the unknown commences in 1492 with the renowned voyager Christopher Columbus. The moment Columbus initiated his travels towards the New World, he and his crew had to navigate the region now known as the Bermuda Triangle. This area, notorious for its enigmatic aura and unaccountable events. His expedition through this perilous zone was marked by several oddities, recorded in his ship's journal. On the evening of October 11th, Columbus reportedly observed an unusual light far off. A light that seemed to move and fluctuate in the blackness, vanishing and reappearing at intervals. This was no common maritime light, but rather, it was something described by Columbus himself as being of an odd and unexplainable nature. The peculiarities didn't end there. Columbus and his crew also encountered erratic compass readings in this area. The compass, an indispensable tool for navigation, was suddenly acting in a way that defied all logic. It seemed as if the basic laws of nature were being twisted and distorted within the Bermuda Triangle. However, despite these disconcerting events, Columbus and his crew continued, spurred by their thirst for discovery. They persisted on their voyage, navigating through the mysterious shroud that seemed to engulf this region. Ultimately, the New World. What's captivating is that these odd incidents were not isolated. Over time, numerous accounts of bizarre lights and unaccountable compass dysfunctions within the Bermuda Triangle have emerged, mirroring Columbus's initial experiences. These early events, while unsettling, did not dissuade future explorers and seafarers. Rather, they only added to the intrigue and mystery of the Bermuda Triangle. They staged a series of incomprehensible events and disappearances that would baffle and confound the world for hundreds of years. And so commenced a series of inexplicable events that would come to characterize the Bermuda Triangle. We leap forward in time to 1945, the year the notorious Flight 19 disappeared and left no traces behind. It was December 5th, an average day for the 14 crew members on board 5 TBM Avenger torpedo bombers. Their task was straightforward, a regular training drill starting from the Naval Air Station in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Little did they know, they were on the brink of becoming key characters in one of the most perplexing of the 20th century. The squadron seemed to be doing fine as they initiated their training mission, but the situation quickly turned dire when the flight leader announced that his compasses were not working correctly. The weather, which had been pleasant, began to worsen rapidly. The flight leader's final message was eerily vague. "We are entering white water, nothing seems right. We don't know where we are, the water is green, no white." Despite the efforts to keep in touch and guide the squadron back to base, the flight tower lost all means of communication. The 5 aircraft and their 14 crew members had disappeared, leaving nothing but an uncanny silence. But the enigma didn't stop there. A Martin Mariner seaplane carrying 13 crew members was sent to look for the missing squadron in response to the vanishing. Loved ones held their breath, praying for a miracle. However, as time went on, it became clear that the search aircraft had also disappeared without a trace, adding another layer to the unfolding mystery. The loss of both Flight 19 and the search plane on the same day sent a shockwave around the world. The Bermuda Triangle, already a topic of speculation and myth, now had 2 more unsolved mysteries attached to its name. Theories multiplied, ranging from magnetic anomalies affecting compasses to alien encounters. Nevertheless, the truth remained hidden. The Bermuda Triangle's reputation as a hub of mystery was further entrenched by these 2 significant disappearances in a single day. There was wreckage, no survivors, just an eerie silence, and the lingering question, what happened to the lost squadron? In 1963, another baffling event occurred, the disappearance of the SS Marine Sulphur Queen. As dawn broke on the 2nd of February, the merchant vessel SS Marine Sulphur Queen embarked from Beaumont, Texas, bound for Norfolk, Virginia. 39 seasoned sailors were on board, prepared to face any challenge the ocean threw their way. The vessel was laden with over 15,000 tons of molten sulfur, a cargo as perilous as it was precious. The Sulphur Queen was scheduled to traverse the notorious Bermuda Triangle, a journey it had embarked on numerous times before. But on this occasion, it would never attain its intended destination. February 4th marked the last day the ship was heard from, just 2 days into their journey. The final communication with the ship was a routine radio check-in. Following that, nothing but eerie silence. When the Sulphur Queen failed to dock at Norfolk as scheduled, a search and rescue mission was promptly initiated. However, despite the Coast Guard and Navy's exhaustive efforts, no sign of the ship or its crew was ever discovered. Numerous theories sprouted up in an attempt to explain the ship's sudden disappearance. Some pointed fingers at the ship's structural inadequacies. The Sulphur Queen, originally a T-2 tanker from World War II, had been repurposed to transport molten sulfur. Critics contended that the retrofitting may not have been done correctly, thus undermining the ship's structural stability. Meanwhile, others pondered the nature of the ship's cargo. Molten sulfur, when it cools, forms a solid mass capable of capsizing a ship. Was this the ill fate of the Sulphur Queen, or was it yet another casualty of the enigmatic Bermuda Triangle, swallowed by the sea without leaving a trace? Regardless of these conjectures, the actual fate of the Sulphur Queen remains cloaked in obscurity. The ship, along with its crew and cargo, seems to have simply evaporated. A haunting testament to the might of the ocean and the inscrutable allure of the Bermuda Triangle. Despite exhaustive efforts, no trace of the ship or its crew was ever discovered. Maybe the most spine-tingling narrative is the unsolved vanishing of Flight 441 in 1954. This aircraft, known for its durability, was a military plane called Flight 441, specifically a Douglas R-6D1, a version of the DC-6 airliner, highly appreciated for its trustworthiness. On the ill-fated day, 42 individuals, a collection of Navy staff and their kin, stepped onto the plane for what was predicted to be an ordinary flight from Maryland to the Azores, a series of islands in the Atlantic. The weather was clear, the sky as welcoming as it could be, and the plane, excellently maintained, having undergone standard checks before takeoff. As the plane ascended over the Atlantic, everything appeared normal. The skilled crew was in contact with the control tower with no irregularities. Then, abruptly, Flight 441 went missing. It was as though the plane and its passengers had simply evaporated. The last known location was over the Bermuda Triangle, that notorious section of the Atlantic known for enigmatic disappearances. A comprehensive search operation was initiated immediately. For 5 days, the Navy scoured the sea and the sky, but found no trace of the missing plane. No wreckage, no debris, nothing. It was as though Flight 441 had never been. The plane, along with its 42, was simply gone. The official report concluded that the plane probably exploded at high altitude. But this was mere speculation, a desperate attempt to explain the inexplicable. No evidence was ever found to support this theory. Remember, the weather was clear and the plane was in excellent shape. So, what happened to Flight 441? To this day, the vanishing of Flight 441 is cloaked in mystery. Theories range from believable to utterly fantastical. Some suggest alien abduction, others a time warp, and some a magnetic anomaly. But the truth remains elusive. The case persists as one of the most lasting enigmas of the Bermuda Triangle. And like all mysteries, it continues to hold our imagination, reminding us that there are still things in this world that defy explanation. From Columbus's voyage to the present, the enigma of the Bermuda Triangle remains. Throughout the ages, an alarming number of ships and aircraft have inexplicably disappeared within its infamous borders. We've examined several incidents, from the first known case, the unresolved disappearance of the USS Cyclops along with her 309 crew members, to the unsettling saga of the Lost Squadron Flight 19, which comprised 5 torpedo bombers that vanished during a routine drill, leaving 0 wreckage. The SS Marine Sulphur Queen, a tanker loaded with 15,000 tons of molten sulfur, also disappeared, leaving no evidence, despite rigorous search efforts. Then there's the unsettling case of Flight 441, a military transport plane that vanished with 42 people on board, providing no answers, only mysteries. Yet these narratives are just the beginning. There's an abundance of unexplained disappearances and peculiar happenings within the Bermuda Triangle. Be it commercial ships, private yachts, small planes, or large airliners, all have succumbed to this enigmatic Atlantic region. As the years roll by, the mystery only deepens. Could it be magnetic anomalies, time distortions, extraterrestrial kidnappings, or simply human mistakes and natural catastrophes? The speculation is as varied as the incidents themselves. The Bermuda Triangle, a puzzle that persists in confounding us, Until we meet again, continue your journey into the unknown.